One of the names that is in action is to get boxing back on the radar here. We've got Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. September
What?
12th from Carson, California. I know you've already ordered it on pay-per-view, Teddy. Tyson, 54 years old. Roy Jones, 51. We saw Mike last time 15 years ago against Kevin McBride. Didn't really look that good. We've seen Roy knocked out cold a couple times when he was busy, and probably 10 or 15 years ago as well. I hesitate to say let's hear your thoughts because I think I know what they're going to be, but let me hear you.
Oh, you're going to hear me. Oh, you're going to hear me. You're going to hear me. Oh, you're going to hear me. Like my good friend and brother Stephen A. Smith would say, are you going to hear me? Oh, you're going to hear me. Listen, it's an exhibition, 8 rounds, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I never thought I'd be quoting this man. Great basketball player. Great. He really was. And a small guy, too. You know, not really a big guy, but great player, great offensive player. But to invoke the words of the great Allen Iverson, who played for the Philadelphia 76ers, I would just start by saying, practice, practice, practice. We're talking practice here. Now, come on, practice. We're talking practice here. Are we talking practice here?
Not about the game.
Practice. Practice. We're talking practice. You're the best. You're like Larry Brown, the coach. But practice. We're talking practice. Okay. All right. I had to get that out of the way. I feel a little bit better. We haven't heard from Allen Iverson, so I'm glad now we have. Look, Barnum and Bailey once said, the great, great promoter, there's a sucker born every minute. And if they can sell this thing on pay-per-view, and I guess they can because they wouldn't be doing it if they didn't feel that they can. They floated a balloon. You know, you float a weather balloon to see what the weather is. Really, right? I'm sure no one else is even talking about this. I could be wrong, but I'm going to say they floated that video that Tyson did with his trainer, right? Yep, exactly. And they floated it, and what happened? It went viral, whatever they call that stuff out there in your world, in that sophisticated world, right? It went viral, right? Something like that. It didn't come on a fax machine. I didn't get notice of it on my fax. That didn't happen.
You didn't see it on your Instagram feed?
No, I didn't. I didn't. Nobody has notified me. But so they said, we got to do something with this. And so they're doing something. Listen, there's a reason why the Marvel comic movies keep coming back and they keep doing well. Spider-Man, Hulk, Fantastic Four, whoever they happen to be, whoever you like to like, the Black Panther, all these, and I love them all. I used to read comic books, and I had a big collection. I wish I still had it. I would have been able to make some money with the darn thing. I mean, I had them when they were 8 cents. I had all of them. I had all the series. Oh, I gave them away. But anyway, one of my mistakes, one of my couple mistakes in my life. So every time Marvel brings back these superheroes, these comic book heroes, they do well. People like it. People like to see, their heroes and like to see action. Well, people like to see Tyson, partly for that. They think they're going to see some kind of supernatural action. It's like seeing Captain America come back. It's like seeing, the Hulk come back. Spider-Man against Dr. Octopus. Against the Sandman or against the Green Goblin. There's an attraction to that. And I think they're using the same sort of method or same sort of thinking in this, that people, again, there's an allure There's an allure to this. There's a pull, an attraction. He's fighting Roy Jones. And last I checked, Ken, again, it's not about the athleticism. As long as we understand this, or the competitiveness, as long as we understand this, practice, we're talking about practice. So Roy Jones, the best I can remember, tremendous fighter. I like Roy. I like him as a person. But he was a great middleweight and light heavyweight. I mean, that's what he was. So now he's going to fight at 51 years of age as a heavyweight. I mean, I'll say it again, he was a middleweight and light heavyweight when he was at his best. And here's the problem for Jones. When he was a middleweight and a light heavyweight, he was pretty damn special. You know, one of the things that catches my eye that makes him special, Ken? He did everything wrong, or a lot of things wrong. Like only one other fight I can think of, Muhammad Ali. And listen, there's no other Ali. There's no other. So don't get mad at me that I'm comparing the two. But his style, he could do things wrong. He could drop his hands, pull back, do all kinds of things wrong. But because of his ability to be so fast, his timing, his reflexes, his speed, his power, Roy Jones had all of that. It was unbelievable talent. Because of that, he could make wrong right and still get it right. And he beat a lot of damn good fighters. He could make it right. He could make it right. But now, even before he got past that place, that into those shadows, before his timing and speed got eroded by Father Time, he got knocked out by Antonio Tarver and Glenn Johnson, two solid fighters, pretty bad knockouts. And that was when he was still at the, at that place, like he was at his best. And then boom, he got knocked out. Two in a row.
Devastating
and
knockouts too.
A lot of people could say maybe his reflexes started to go then. Or to give fairness to Tarver, who's one of our great amateur fighters too, besides being a world champ. And Glenn Johnson was a solid guy who had losses, like I talked about, but he learned how to fight. And he fought on ESPN Friday Night Fights while I was calling him on the way up. And he developed and he became a solid guy. Solid guy. That's a good thing, to be solid in anything. You don't have to be, neon lights all the time. Solid. And maybe it was, in fairness, maybe it was just because they made him pay for his mistakes. Maybe it wasn't because his reflexes were starting to go. They were good enough, not afraid to throw the punch when the opening was there. Bop! Don't hesitate a little bit. And they took advantage of things that other fighters couldn't take advantage of, weren't able, didn't want to, whatever. But the facts are that now, when you are a guy that depends on reflexes and timing and speed and power, just so to such a high level, what happens is when that goes, there's nothing to back you up. There's no net to catch you, baby. There's no technique to catch you. See, if you learn technique, Ken, you can get older and your technique can still cover for you. A little bit like James Toney. He messed himself up by going up in weight, coming down in weight, But even as an older guy, he could still do things because his technique was there. He was doing things the textbook way. And it helped him. It helped him because he didn't depend just on reflexes. But Jones, just reflexes, now that's gone, and the technique's not there really. He really, maybe he's in his garage working on his technique, and I'm wrong. But throughout his career, it wasn't there to depend on. Tyson, not only the bigger guy naturally, much bigger guy, even at 54, if this thing does get real, the senior tour, the senior tour in golf, at least you don't see the old golfers, walking. They're not hitting each other with the golf club. So that, you know what I mean? So that's the trouble with senior tours in boxing. So
Yeah.
here you go. Here you go. You got the senior tour. I'll say it. I'll be the first to say it. And now you got Tyson, who's got all the advantages, but he's got another one. He had good technique. Yeah, he had speed. Yeah, he had power. Unbelievable power and speed. Maybe the best of all time to a certain degree. Maybe. The mixture, the combination. But he had technique. Peekaboo style. But where he make you miss. Bop, bop, bop. He had technique. And he still got the technique. That's going to give him, besides everything else, a huge advantage over a guy who never had the technique and now they're older. That's going to give him, that's something that nobody else is, I don't think anyone's talking about. That's going to give him a big advantage. If this is real and they really go at it, to that point, Tyson, Tyson should knock him out. But, for the people out there that still want to say, oh, he's going to box, Roy's going to box, again, Bonham, come over here, Bonham. What was that saying? A sucker is born every minute. Okay, thanks, Bonham. Thank you. I mean, that's not happening.